My finger was in the way. Smile, you're on candid camera. Hi everyone. I have a special guest. She's nervous. She doesn't want to be here. This is Emily, just in case you don't know. And what I'm going to start to do for students that are really working hard, it doesn't mean you have to get everything right, but really working hard, paying attention in class, I'm going to start to invite you to be my student assistant. So I chose Emily. She's been doing an awesome job in class. Homework every night, very responsible student. So Emily's my first student assistant. So we're kind of doing a backtrack. You should already have all these notes, but I wrote them up there again just so that you have them in the video and you can watch them if you want to. So really quickly, to go over the notes, we're talking about simplifying fractions, finding the greatest common factor. 4 steps to doing that. List the factors of the denominator first. List the factors of the numerator. And remember when we did this in class, you need to stop once you get to a repeat, like 6 times 6, or if I did 4 times 6 and then I get to 6 times 4, I don't want to repeat any numbers in my list. We're going to identify the greatest common factor, and then we're going to divide our fraction by the common factor. So we're going to walk through an example. I'm going to do the first example. Em's going to help me out, and then we're going to switch. Emily will do the next 2 examples, and I'll be her assistant, and I'll help her out. So if you need to take these notes down, like I said, you should already have them in your notebooks, but just in case. You ready, Em?
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you talk nice and loud. Loud like the teacher so they can hear you, okay? Okay. So our first example is going to be 18/24. All right, Em, I'm going to have you come stand over here so they can still see you. Okay? All right, so we're going to list the factors of our numerator and our denominator. Remember we made this thing that kind of ended up looking like some sort of sandwich when we were done? We're going to do the same thing. So we're going to get our numbers ready, and Em's going to help me out with the factors of 24. Can you hold that for me, miss? So we're always going to start with 1, so I'm going to do 1 and 24. Okay, and then 2.
2 and 12.
2 and 12.
3 and 8.
3 and 8.
4 and 6.
4 and 6. And if I were to keep going, I would end up with 6 and 4. So I know I'm going to stop right there. Now I'm going to start to list my factors of 18. And I always start with 1 and the number. So 1 and 18. Madam?
2 and 9.
2 and 9.
3 and 6.
3 and 6. I'm stopping there?
Yes.
Yes? Because if I continued on, there's nothing times 4, nothing times 5. It would bring me to my 6, which would give me 6 and 3, and we don't want to repeat. So we're going to stop right there. Now I'm going to look at these numbers, and I'm going to find the greatest common factor. Greatest means the biggest number. Common means that they both have them. So I'm going to look at my list. Do you see it, Emily? What is it?
6.
It is 6. So we're going to circle this. Now, depending on how you want to do this, I would just do it like this. But when Mrs. Oliva was here, she drew those lines. So I'm going to draw the lines on the bottom. And this is what made it look like a sandwich to me. So we can kind of connect the factors together. I'll do it on the top. Okay? So I know that 4 times 6 gives me 24. 3 times 6 gives me 18. So now my step number 3 was identify the factor. Emily told us it was 6. Step number 4 was to divide by that common factor. So here's my fraction. I'm going to divide by 6. And I'll put my thing out here. 18 divided by 6 is?
3.
3. And if I wasn't sure, look, that's what these lines are for. 6 matches up with 3 as the other factor. And then 24 divided by 6?
4.
Is 4. And again, if I wasn't sure, that's what these lines are for. 6 and 4 are the factors of 24. So 18/24 simplifies to 3/4. All right, Emily's going to help us with the next 2. You ready, madam?
Yeah.
All right. I'll write the fraction for you. What is it? Yep.
36.
16. This should be good. 36. Do you want me to draw all this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. There's our box for our factors of 16, our box for our factors of 36. You can draw those little arrows, and we're going to divide by something, and it's going to equal something. Are you ready? You can. All right, so talk us through it just like I would talk you through it. So we're going to start with our denominator, and the factors are?
1.
And?
36.
Now there's a lot of factors for 36, so don't write too big.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to go to? We're going to see if anything times 2. 2 and, do you think you know? Now, if you don't know, and you need to do a little division on the side, 36 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over. And, oops, 1 left over. We bring down that 6. It's 16. 2 goes into 16. How many times?
8.
8 times. So that tells me that 2 times 18 is 36. So 2 and 18. Good. And then 3 and...
3 and...
How many times does 3 go into 3?
1.
1. How many times does 3 go into 6?
2.
2. 3 and 12. Don't forget your commas down here so it doesn't look like a big old number. Good. And then we have 4 and 9. Good. And the last one, which is a double fact.
6 and 6.
6 and 6. So do I write 6 twice or once?
Once.
Just once. We don't need to repeat. So once we get to a repeat, we're going to stop. All right, now we're going to move to our numerator. A really good strategy is to look at these numbers first, and this is why we start with the denominator, and see if our numerator is even in there. 16's not in there, so I know I need to list the numerator factors. All right, so we're always going to start with
1.
1,
16.
16,
2 and 8.
2 and 8,
3 and 6.
3 times 6 is
18.
18. So no 3. What about 4?
4 times 4.
4 times 4, and we're going to write 4 how many times?
Once.
Just once. All right, so we have all of our factors listed. Now we're going to look for the greatest common factor. What do you see that's the biggest? Is there a 16 down here?
No.
What about an 8?
Yeah, no.
No? What about a 4?
Yes.
Yes. So 4 is our greatest common factor. So we're going to divide. We're on step number 4 now. We identified our greatest common factor. Step 4 is to divide. I'm going to switch spots so Emily can write down there. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And 36 divided by 4 is 9. So 1636 simplifies to 4/9. All right, Em's going to walk us through one more. I'm going to try and keep some of this. I do have a couple that I have for you to do on your own. Since this isn't homework per se, you can do them on your own if you want. Just for extra practice, you're more than welcome to show it to me, but you don't really have to. Just because we've already kind of passed this, but it's something you will need to know. All right, so we have 9/54. Em's going to factor us out and see what we have. Switch! That was fun. Did a little spin thing. All right, miss.
1 and 54.
1 and 54.
No, 2.
2 and 27. This is a big number. So some of these, like I said, you might have to write those division facts out on the side. 3 and 18. I already did the work. And then we have 6 and, you know this one.
6 and 6.
Not 6 and 6. 6 and 6 is 36.
Oh, 6 and 9.
6 and 9. Very good. All right, so remember what I said with the last one. So after we do our denominator, it's good to check to see if this number is here. Is 9 here?
Yes.
Yeah, so we don't even have to factor this out because the biggest factor of 9 is going to be 9. Because if we do this out, what's the first, thank you, babe. What's the first thing that we would write up here?
1 and 9.
1 and 9. So go ahead and just do 1 and 9, and we'll stop right there. So if ever the numerator is a factor down at the bottom, you can keep going, babe. You don't have to keep going because we already know what the biggest factor is. So Emily found her common denominator. She's dividing by that common factor. Sorry, not denominator. So we have 9/54 simplifies by 9 to 1/6. Perfect. Can you erase this for me, sweetie? So I have 3 that you're going to do on your own. You can erase the whole thing. Em's going to write all 3 fractions. If you want to do them for extra practice, you can. If you want to bring them in, just to try them out and see how it goes. So on your own, I want you to try, these are bigger ones, so you might need to do some division. 28/42. 27, we can write this way. 27/72, 70 seconds. And 39/65. So they kind of progressively got a little bit more challenging. Like I said, the notes you should already have, but just as a little refresher because we will be revisiting simplifying. All right, guys, awesome job. Emily did an awesome job. Thank you, my love. And I look forward to picking my next student assistant. Can't always be Emily. It might be Emily again, but it can't always be. So work hard and do your best. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.